Hello everyone, Ace here, and today, well, I'm just going to have to go ahead and say it. Ubisoft accidentally made a fantastic argument in favor of piracy. Now, to be clear, I am not saying that you should pirate any games. I'm just pointing out the fact that Ubisoft has accidentally made a fantastic argument for that. But you may be wondering how this is the case, and it's because of Ubisoft's willingness to delete inactive accounts, even when those accounts have bought video games in the past. And when publicly called out on this on Twitter, Ubisoft support decided to chime in and tell people who want to avoid losing access to their games and their accounts how to prevent that from happening. But the simple reality is that things should not have gotten that far in the first place. People should not be at risk of losing their accounts which happen to have games on them just because the account has been inactive for an arbitrary amount of time. Now, I do need to go on to address the context added tab, which states that Ubisoft claims to be doing this because of laws such as the GDPR, as well as them claiming that they don't close down accounts that are inactive for less than 4 years. Unfortunately for Ubisoft, and interestingly enough, it is of note that the sources used in the context added tab directly contradict these claims, or at the bare minimum, the latter claim. For a start, one of the sources used is an article about how someone lost their account after around 2 years of inactivity, which did indeed have video games on it, something that Ubisoft also says that they don't do. And on that subject, if Ubisoft doesn't close down inactive accounts that have games on them, then why didn't Ubisoft support just mention the fact that, hey, they don't actually close down inactive accounts that actually have games on them? Instead, they said if you don't want to lose your games or your account, then do this, which suggests that Ubisoft lied when they said that they don't delete inactive accounts with games on them. Also, it is of note that Ubisoft's own terms of service state very clearly that they can and will delete inactive accounts after a period of 6 months of inactivity, not 4 years. So that covers the second bit alright, but even if we talk about the GDPR, there are still a few issues to keep in mind that kind of suggest that Ubisoft is lying about that as well. For a start, the GDPR requires companies to delete personal data when it is no longer necessary for business operations. However, the access to the account, and thus the games on the account, is absolutely necessary for the business operation, at least on the part of the end user. But that also leads me to the second reason why Ubisoft appears to be lying about the GDPR, and that being that if Ubisoft's reasoning was actually legitimate, then this would not be a problem exclusive to Ubisoft. This would be a problem impacting the entire video game industry. Yet currently, it appears to be very much a Ubisoft problem, which directly suggests that Ubisoft is simply lying about the GDPR and trying to hide behind that legislation in the hopes that absolutely no one would notice the discrepancy in that reasoning. And considering that Ubisoft has just told everyone that they will essentially be absolutely willing to delete accounts even with games on them after a set period of time, I have to wonder how that isn't a strong argument on the part of Ubisoft for people to simply pirate their games rather than buy them and risk losing them. And again, to be clear, I'm not saying that you should pirate Ubisoft's games. I'm just saying that they have, through their actions, made a very strong case for that themselves. Now, for those curious, I will of course be leaving links in the description below to archives of the sources that I have used, so you can check them out for yourself if you should so desire. But in any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.